Hello students, I hope you all are fine and also you are studying at your home. So today we are going to do the class 9 science chapter number 5 and the name of the chapter is the fundamental unit of life. So students, in our previous video I have explained you about the plasma membrane and the process of osmosis and the diffusion. Today we will understand the term solution first, then we will go further. Let's understand the terms related to the solution. So all the solutions have at least two parts. All the solutions are made up of two things. First is solute and another is solvent. So let us understand what is solute. So substances that is dissolved, and this is the substance that will be dissolved in the solvent, and this is present in smaller amount and solute is present in smaller amount. For example, if we are preparing sugar water solution, then we will take water and in water we will add the solute. And what is the solute here? Sugar in our example. Now let us understand what is solvent. So solvent is the part of solution present is largest amount, and in this we will dissolve the solute. So for example, again if we are preparing the sugar water solution, then water is solvent and the sugar is solute, and together they will make the solution. So look here is the solute and here is the solvent, and here water is our solvent, and solvent can be anything whatever you are taking, right? And when we are adding this solute in the solvent, then we will have this blue color solution, right? So now let us understand the concentrated and the dilute solution. Let us understand the dilute solution first. So here it is a solution and here is the solution. So in this solution what we are seeing, this pink color circles are, pink color balls are the solute, and this blue color is the water. So what we are seeing in this container, that it has less number of balls, that means it has a small amount of solute, right? So when there is a small amount of solute present in a large solvent, then such kind of solution is called dilute solution. Then we called it dilute solution. And when there is a large amount of solute in the small amount of solvent, then it is the concentrated solution. Now students, let's understand the different cases of solutions. So what happened when we put a plant cell or an animal cell into a solution of sugar or the salt in water? So here sugar and the salt will be solute and the water will be the solvent, and together they will form the solution. So let us understand the first case. In first case, let us understand the first case, that is hypotonic solution. So here this pink color balls are solute molecules, and the dark color one, small one, are the water molecules. Now we can see that yellow part is the cell, and inside the yellow part it is the internal part of the cell, and here it is the external part of the cell. Now we are observing that inside the cell there are large number of solute molecules and the water molecules are present in less quantity, right? And outside the cell there are the large number of water molecules and solute molecules are present in less quantity. Then what will happen? Now we have understood the case of osmosis. Now what will happen? The outside side the water is present in higher concentration and inside the water is in lower concentration. Then the water will start moving inside the cell, and then this cell will get swell up, right? So the water concentration is greater outside the cell and the solute concentration is greater inside the cell, and that's why the water flows into the cell. So if the medium surrounding the cell has higher water concentration than the cell, meaning that the outside solution is very dilute, that means the outside solution will be dilute and inside the solution will be concentrated, then such kind of solution is known as hypotonic solution, and the water molecules are free to pass across the membrane in both the direction. But what will happen? The water molecules will come inside the cell in large quantity. So overall the net movement will be inside the cell, and that's why the cell will swell up. Right. Now let us understand the another case, that is isotonic solution. Now let us understand the isotonic solution. If the concentration has exactly the same, is the same inside the cell and as well as outside the cell, that means the solute and the water quantity is same inside the cell also and outside the cell, then what will happen? So there will be not any net movement of the water in the cell or outside the cell, and such kind of solution is known as isotonic solution. Now in this case actually what happens, water crosses the cell membrane in both directions. Water will come in the cell also and water will go out of the cell also, but they will go in equal amount. So that's why we will see that there is no any change in the amount of water in the cell. Now let us understand this with the help of diagram. So if here is the cell and it is the surrounding medium and both sides the concentration of water is equal, then what will happen? The amount of water transported into the cell equals to the amount of water transported out from the cell. That means equal amount of water will leave the cell and equal amount of water will come into the cell, and such kind of solution is called isotonic solution. And solute concentration inside the cell is equals to the solute concentration outside the cell. The solute concentration will be also the same. So what we will see, if one molecule will move outside, then one molecule will come inside. That means there will not any change in the concentration of water inside the cell. Now let us understand the third case. The third case is hypertonic solution. So if the medium has the lower concentration of water than the cell, that means inside the cell water concentration will be high and outside the cell water concentration will be low, then the cell will lose water by the osmosis process. Then the water will come out from the cell by the process of osmosis, and such kind of solution is known as hypertonic solution. Now again the water will come inside also and outside the cell also, but the more water will leave the cell, that's why the cell will shrink. So osmosis is the special case of diffusion. Now let's understand with the help of picture. So here is the cell, right, and inside the cell this yellow dots are representing water. These yellow dots are representing solute, and outside the cell solute is present in large quantity and inside the cell solute is present in small quantity. Now what will happen? Here the water concentration is large and outside the cell the water concentration is lower. Then what will happen? The water will move out from the cell and will go into the medium, and such kind of solution is known as hypertonic solution. You can understand this with the help of this diagram also. Hypertonic, isotonic and hypotonic. In this what is happening? The shell is shrinking and this is the normal case, and in this case the cell will get swelled. So students, unicellular organisms take the water by the process of osmosis, and absorption of the water in plants is also done by the process of osmosis. And why the diffusion is important? Diffusion is important in the exchange of gases. Okay. Now different molecules move in and out of the cell through a type of transport requiring use of energy, because sometimes when the things are moving, substances are moving in and out of the cell, then sometimes they need the energy. Now plasma membrane is a flexible and it is made up of organic molecules called lipids and proteins. So plasma membrane is not rigid, it is a flexible structure and it is made up of proteins and lipids. And the flexibility of this cell membrane or the flexibility of this plasma membrane also helps in the engulf of food. In case of amoeba, let us understand how. In amoeba, there is the cell membrane, and when When amoeba is taking its food, then the food is also taken by the amoeba by the process of diffusion, right? So, and that process in which the amoeba is taking its food is called endocytosis. So, endocytosis process is also done by the process of diffusion. So, students, now let's check out our knowledge by looking some questions. So, here are the questions. What happened to an animal cell when it is placed in a very dilute external medium? And the question number 2, how does the substances like carbon dioxide and water move in out of the cell? In question number 3, what makes the plasma membrane? So students, I hope the content is clear to you. Very soon I'll come up with the new content. Till then, all of you take care and bye bye, and thank you for the listening.